Hi, you can see me now, huh? And I'm here. It was, I know, I am doing May 11th now because, me on time, but this is what I'm planning on doing. So I think I have all the days caught up. This would have been Mother's Day. I had the script ready. I just didn't get on live. Mother's Day is a little rough for me because I lost my mother in 2021. Well, I didn't lose her, but I mean, she passed away. And 10 days before my birthday, actually. I see her a lot in my dreams. Because we are on a metaphysical channel, and anybody who's here, please feel free to come in and talk or ask me any questions. Um, I do see her a lot, actually. In fact, a couple times I used to say to her when she was, here still, that she would probably never leave because she kept saying, I'm not going to live forever. I said, oh, no, you're going to bother me till the day I die because that's, what you're meant to do. And it was, it's an ongoing joke. Adored her. Adored. She was a little crazy, but, I had to get it from somewhere. She used to say things to me, and I say, yeah, but where did I learn it? Yeah. Who did I inherit it from? It was her. But she was a funny woman. She gave me my sense of humor. She had it kind of naturally. And today, on this Mother's Day, blessings to all who are moms or who, I know it's a little bit late. It's the 16th, but this has been the Mother's Day month. So I hope all the moms and moms to be and grandmas and everybody else is great. As John Denver used to say, the children and the flowers are my brothers and my sisters. But I also feel like, now that I'm older, they're all my children. I feel like they're my grandchildren, really. At least the kids. I love kids. I love working with them. I used to volunteer a lot. I will do more so when I can. But today is Successful Sunday, supposed to be. And the class that I'm talking about is the third in Master Manifestor bundle. That would be the final class of the 3 of that bundle. And it's called I Am the Operant Power, a Reality Reclaim. And that comes directly from Neville Goddard. Now, so if you didn't get that, this was a happy Mother's Day to all the moms, nurturers, and life givers in every form. This is supposed to be Successful Sunday. It kind of is, but it's not. And this is class 3. So this is our final class of the bundle, and I said it, and you've made it this far. You're not just learning manifestation, you are becoming it. And it really has been very interesting. Today is about power, your power. You've always had it. You've just been trained to hand it over. To fear, to doubt, to the external world, but you are the operant power. You command your world through assumption, attention, and identity. This class is your reclaiming. We'll dismantle the lies, and we'll say you need to wait, prove, or earn your. We'll dismantle the lies that say you need to wait, prove, or earn your reality. Definitely, you don't manifest by force. Trust me, I've tried. You manifest by knowing. And that's what it is. You have to get into this sense of knowing. And I'm going to share something really cool with you today. You are not becoming, you are. As I said, Renaissance millionaire woman here. I'm also a lot of other great things. And the thing I'm going to share with you, I got from somebody wonderful online, and she is on my playlist under technique, because right this moment her name goes from me, but I will tell you more about her because I'll get her name and I'll go through all of these because I think they're great. Let today, and from here forward, so whatever day you're watching this, because it's certainly not Sunday, Mother's Day, I'm just putting it out today. Let today be the day you stop asking for permission to live your dream. If this stirred something in you, it's time to say yes to your mastery. That's right. The Master Manifestor bundle is open through May 31st, and this is your moment to claim it. It'll probably be after that, but things may change. Tomorrow's Manifesting Monday is your cue to go all in to buy the whole bundle. Details will be are here, and I will get it down for you. This is $57 if you take this class by itself. I haven't set up all of it yet, but we will. We'll get it done. But what I wanted to share with you that came from this website, and I guess I could look, but I think I'd have to go out of here. It's called I Know for a Fact. And I love that. I love that as an affirmation. So you can do stuff like, I know for a fact I have $200,000 in my bank account. I know for a fact I am visiting Ireland after, oh, the film shoot. So I auditioned for a film today, and I know for a fact that I booked the role. That's my affirmation, at least for, the moment. As an actor, things happen, but I booked the role. And that happened before. I was thinking about, funny enough, how things manifest, even the audition for the role. I was asked to audition for this particular role. And I've been thinking, just some stuff going on here. I like a little vacation, but I don't mind a paid vacation where I'm actually doing work. And I said, oh, I'd love to go to LA for a short while, do a film or something, and so get paid to go, which would be incredible and nice, and travel well. And then I saw this audition. It sent to me that they asked me to audition for a role in Los Angeles. That's where it shoots, and it shoots in June. So I can see myself, and let's say I know for a fact that I booked it. I see myself at a very nice, I think they're putting me at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, very haunted, by the way. I used to live near there. And we used to go over to the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel and go swimming. Now, there was a pool at the apartment complex I was living at, but the one at the Hollywood Roosevelt was kind of nice. The one where we live was very nice too. Almost everybody in LA has pools, and the one where we live was very nice too. Almost everybody in LA has pools, and we lived right in the heart of Hollywood because the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. When we did a Rocky Horror Convention many years ago, well, quite a few. Maybe it was the year 2000. No, it couldn't have been. Oh, maybe it was. Maybe it was 2001. I forget all the conventions I've been to, but Patricia Quinn was there, and I met Mistress of the Dark, Cassandra Peterson. She was really cool. She was there at the Rocky Horror Convention. And now it's the 50th anniversary for those who are keeping track. But I'm off topic. I'm going to go back to You Are the Operant Power. Look, I manifested myself to many things, including meeting Tim Curry and getting to know him a bit. And it's been very cool. So, look, take my classes. Things happen. Many dreams come true. Some of you may know some of my struggles financially, but I haven't always struggled that way. But even if I did, I haven't struggled with a lot of other big dreams. I have acted, and I always said I would be an actress since I was like, 4 years old, I think. But I started acting more so, I did a little bit when I was 6 or 7 in school. And then at 8, I was really decided that I was going to be, well, I said a movie star. Of course, I fell in love with theater at that time even. And I have been on over, oh, I lost track. Let's say I've done performances on probably a lot of performances. I lost way track of those, but let's say I probably performed on at least 50 stages in different states, and sort of in a different country. I didn't perform per se, but I did go to Rocky Horror Picture Show in London, England, and the cast was gone. And since I was pretty much a cast member, I wasn't dressed up. I just went dressed, like myself, and I probably wore a Tim Curry T-shirt, I would assume. And since the cast was gone because they were visiting another place at the Prince Charles Cinema, and there was 2 girls from Chicago, and then 2 men, two in costume, I think. One is Eddie and one is Riff Raff, and we performed. And the 2 girls from Chicago were like dressed normal for the time, and it was the year 1996, 97. So I had kind of come a little bit out of retirement with the costume, but I didn't bring the costume to England, so I was just there, and in street clothes, so to speak, and not street walking clothes. Let's get your mind out of the gutter. I was just there. I don't need my glasses when I'm watching myself. I really don't. So I did an incredible audition yesterday for the film that I'm doing in LA. That I know. But so in England, we performed at the cinema. They didn't have a stage. Now, I have performed Rocky Horror at places where there was a little bit of a stage. I don't know if the Marlborough Theater where I performed the most, which was back in the 80s, Yeah, age myself. Don't know my relation. But back in the 80s, some of you know because I'm not afraid to talk about it. I just don't necessarily need the casting directors to know because the audition was for a woman who's be about 48. And I hope I passed for 48. I guess if I covered up a bit of this gray, I might pass more for 48. But they say I look younger sometimes. And then I have friends who say, yeah, you look your age. So whatever. I'll leave it to the casting director to decide what I look and if I'm right for the part. And if I'm not right for that part, I still think I'm going to book something in Los Angeles quite soon. I certainly, I'm on Actors Access and always putting myself out there for some auditions. I need some better headshots. I need my hair done. But now, because a couple of these auditions has required a certain thing, I can't quite do much with my hair. I could probably get it cut, but I did one audition for covering up the gray. So I don't want to cover up the gray because it was, I guess that's what they would do. But I don't know if I booked that. Haven't heard back. And, after a minute or two, I'll forget. And then there was another one. Oh, this one that I auditioned for yesterday, which I have. I've decided. I know for a fact. They want you to have brown hair. My hair looks brown right now. It's got some gray in it. So the only thing I would do when I book this part, I'll probably just go chestnut brown. They said brown or black hair. So I would say I'd look best with chestnut brown in this case. I prefer to have red because my natural color is kind of red. It's was strawberry blonde for many years, and I would say now, considering my age and everything, the way it's coming out is probably more of an auburn and gray or white, whatever you want to call it. Some parts of it, not all of it. I haven't gone completely gray. This is pretty much my natural color and some of the stuff growing out because you can see I have this, the white spots here. And then the rest of it is, I mean, I need to wash it, so it'd probably be a little bit lighter. But you can say it's kind of looking more brown as I grow out the color that was in it before because I started coloring when I was about because I started getting gray hairs, not a lot of them, when I was about 27. So when I was 30 was the first time I actually put dye in my hair. I pretty much dyed it back to my natural color then, which was a strawberry blondish, thing. And I've always had about 3 or 4 different colors in my hair, even before I touched it with dye, which would have been growing up. Um, when I had hair, I didn't get much, and I still don't have much. But when I grew hair at about if you look at the pictures, most of them are black and white though. But if you look at the pictures, we have a couple color ones from when I was like less than a year old, my first Christmas, and also my first birthday, which was 1964. And I have kind of a strawberry look, strawberry blondish look. But it's kind of like got waves of different colors. And I didn't have much hair, but I had what I had. Also looks pretty blonde in some of them. So it was more on the blonde side. Some people have joked that I was more of a blonde most of my life. I don't know why they would call me a blonde. Nothing against blondes. I just prefer to have a little bit of color in my hair, uh, more towards the red side. I prefer that to blonde just with my complexion and everything. Not against blonde. Uh, and I would do that if somebody needed me to be a blonde for a film. I certainly would do it. They probably should throw me a wig, actually, the thin as my hair is. Um, but it's all right. I'll take whatever way. If they say, yeah, do what you want to your hair, we'll just throw you in a wig, that's fine too. It's all good. And the first movie I booked, which was Rock and Roll versus the Invisible Bees, Internet Movie Database. It should be streaming next month unless they delayed it again. Now, I made that film, well, we made that film. I was a co-star in 2021, right before my mother passed, actually. She didn't really know because she had dementia. So when I talked to her on the phone and she wasn't, with the dementia, it was pretty far gone. She didn't really always know who she was talking to, or she'd drop the phone because she really wasn't clear at that point. But I told her, she sometimes remembers she had a daughter, but very rarely near the end. I would just tell her who I was. I'm her daughter, and she goes, "Oh, how nice!" And it's a little bittersweet. Yeah, yeah, I miss her. I miss, I mean, the dementia made her different than what she was. Dementia is a very rough one. Alzheimer's, all that, very rough. And they do forget. She would remember. My mother was one of 14 children, number 4. she'd remember a couple names from her brothers and sisters, mostly the ones who'd passed on, which may be common in dementia. So we'd say the name of one of the ones who had passed on because we would tell her, "You tell the truth," we told her they passed on, and then she goes, "Oh yes, how's she doing?" Right after we told her the person passed on, and that was a couple of her sisters, and I don't think we she remembered any of the boys, the 2 oldest boys who had passed on long before, and even her other brother who had she had been at the funeral not that long before she got kinda sick, Norman, I don't think she remembered any of the boys' names. And then her other brother, Ralph, was still there, and he came to visit her, but, he she didn't remember him either. I will put up a way to pay for it at some point soon. I just didn't set this one up yet, $57 for the class by itself. You can get the whole bundle for 147 and 147 and which it actually would be if you buy them separately, 3 of them in a bundle, it will be $171. But if you buy them at one time, it's 147. And then I'm gonna have another offer for you tomorrow with this whole the treasure. This is the treasure bundle, and this is knowing that you are the treasure, you are the operant power, and I love to talk to you, see what's going on. I'm usually funnier. I like to have an audience. Nice. So you know what? There's my email. You can check it out there. I have a couple. I'll get another one. Especially if you're interested in the bundles and the classes and in anything else you want to ask me within reason. Has to do with law of assumption. I will have more for you soon. In fact, very soon, because I'm going to try to get myself caught up to the right date. This was for the 11th. I'm going to do the 12th probably in a few hours, and maybe the 13th. Yes, and maybe even the 14th. If I can get 3 in today, I might try that. And then we 15, 16. What's today? Talk to you and give you some more fun stuff to do. I wish some of you would come here because I'd love to talk to people. It's Friday, May 16th. Okay, so it's early morning Friday. And so possibly I will do 2 to 3 more today. Later is the will be sleeping at some point. I don't know what point, but I will be. And trying to post my shorts and keep those up because they're a little bit kind, not my shorts, not those kind, the short videos that you all been watching. I wish you'd watch some of these other ones. It would be great because I'd love to see you know more about what's going on and what your questions are about law of assumption and how it works. And I have a lot of techniques and I have some one-on-ones at a different price. Incredible. And people are doing well. Some of my uh, past people are doing great, actually. And I'm doing better and better all the time. So it works. It's there and you will see. Let's come let's check it out. You'll like it. I'm very friendly, usually. I'm pretty nice. And I know a lot about actors because I am one, and about speaking. I am also available for speaking engagements, and I certainly will have that memorized and a lot better than as I seem to go on. I do talk fast. I live in New York, don't we all? And I've always talked fast. It's because, as I was talking about mom, since this is a mom type of thing, my mother talked a lot, until she got the dementia. But you couldn't get a word in edgewise because she'd get on her soapbox all the time. By the way, she was in the army. Hey, this was great because my mom and dad both army people. I'm just saluting you because I'm very proud of that. My mother loved the army. She was great. She was in the USO shows too, back in the 50s, and stationed in the incredible places. But definitely both my parents. Oh, they wanted me to join the military, but I think I would have lasted 10 minutes. I'm not that disciplined. They raised an only child, so uh, and not raised like both my parents are from very large families. My dad was the oldest of 8 children, and my mother was the fourth of 14. So maybe they needed the discipline, or maybe I don't know, but it meshed with them a lot better than with me all the time. And the day and age, maybe when I was born. But that said, my mother talked a lot. And people say, "Why do you talk so fast?" I said, "Because she never took a breath, it seemed like. She'd be going and going, and then you couldn't get a word in edgewise." So I had to learn how, when she did take a breath, which was rarely, and it was quick, you had to get your stuff in there fast. Because if you didn't say it fast, it didn't happen. She would hear it later in a strange sort of way. Yeah, "Mom, can I go out with my friends?" And then she'd be on and on and on, whatever she was on. And then she'd go, "What'd you say?" That was it. That's how you got it in there, because you had to get it in there, or otherwise it would be 2 hours later and you wouldn't have anything done. So, yeah. So I learned to talk fast. Now, of course, I went to drama school, and sometimes when I'm acting, I've had to slow down. And then I've had directors say to me, "If you think you're talking too slow, slow down more." That tells you a lot about how fast I talk. But the good part is, generally people understand me. If you don't, just ask, um, and come back and see me. I will try to get, maybe it's the hour, since I do live in New York and people are not always awake at this time. Although, New York is the city that never sleeps, and I'm proof of that. I never sleep, at least not as often as one would think. But I do, when I sleep like 7 or 8 hours. So I do okay. It's just when I go to bed, it's kind of odd. There's that. So talk to me soon. Love ya. Love, light, and laughter. Keep it up. Let's go, go, go.